Season 50, war number 10, and we're up against GT40. This time my team will be Venom, Kate Bishop and Shocker. I will be taking Path 5 in Section 1, Path 5 in Section 2, and then I will be taking an Onslaught, a Peni, a Mysterio mini-boss, and finally a Quicksilver boss using Venom. The future Ant-Man there in between Mysterio and Quicksilver was taken by someone else using a better option than Venom, though Venom can take the fight as well. Now, starting off here we have a Photon on the event flow knockdown and right back added nodes, and I will be taking the fight with Kate Bishop. Kate Bishop isn't exactly a counter to Photon in any meaningful way, unless you use the tranquilize arrows, but on this node that's not really gonna work out too well due to the right back added node purifying them on the knockdown anyways. Essentially my game plan is to manage Photon's pure light form manually by triggering the pure light form using the light whip trick or sometimes knockdowns when the opponent has no power, so that they then cannot use any of those undexable specials. So here the pure light form is active, Photon has no power to use any specials, so I just dash around, hit her block and just play time to get rid of it, and now I have a window that I can use to deal some damage. I went for a knockdown to remove the protection, get the special one off with the Fury passive active from the event flow node for some increased damage, which is very helpful considering Photon's energy resistance is cutting down on the code snap quite a bit. It is definitely a noticeable decrease. Now ideally I would be able to keep the cold snap on for the whole fight, and so long as I can just manage it properly, like so, by hitting the block to pause them, that should be feasible, and I should be able to finish out the fight without dropping either one of them. One more knockdown here, using the striker to refresh them and remove the protection once again, and the fight is over. Didn't have to deal with a single special while the pure light form was active, and that is essentially a way you can take the fight down, or take Photon down in general, using basically any champion. Then we have a Negasonic Teenage Warhead here on the event flow knockdown and heavy hitter nodes, and this is a very annoying placement for her. The reason being, all of her attacks are non-contact, so you can't land parries under normal circumstances, so normally you would be countering her heavy attack with your heavy for the knockdowns to deal with her evade. But because of the heavy hitter node, you can't exactly do that. So essentially, my plan here is to just nuke the fight down before the evade comes back online, and that is exactly what I did here. One special one for the ramp up, then quickly to a special 2. Both the special 1 and the special 2 knockdowns reset the evade timer, so it never had a chance to come online, and now a quick heavy attack to finish out the fight. A very quick one, and I would recommend the advanced power boost for it if you're ever taking it. Overall, Negasonic is not the worst defender to deal with, but some nodes make her somewhat annoying to deal with. Then we have a Spider-Punk on the event flow intercept and sadist nodes, and I am taking the fight with Venom. And I got the worst buff rolls possible to start the fight off with, but that's alright. I'm going for some heavies to roll or re-roll my buffs, as well as to use the re-roll for some extra clarity charges to get that first clarity passive up faster. Now with the clarity up I am free to use intercepts and whatever else here. Spider-Punk will not evade or auto-block even with the tactic. Now I run into some issues actually trying to land the intercept, and I was pushing myself very close to that special 3, so I ended up just going for the special 2 there to, well, basically dump my power. Looking back, I probably shouldn't have done that and just played the fight without specials, but the fight itself is not too difficult to take. So long as the clarity is up, the Spider-Punk can't do anything, so long as you don't start eating combos or, well, pushing him to his special 2s, I guess. Special 1 is so easy to avoid that is the special you should always aim for, however it does waste some time, which is definitely annoying. Fight went down, no bigger problems there. I did get hit at some point in the fight due to being dumb, but that's nothing new. Then we have the Destroyer here on the ebb and flow, intercept and right back at it nodes. Not right back at it, Mighty Charge node. And I will be taking the fight with Kate Bishop. This fight I have done previously multiple times, and the game plan here is the exact same as usual. Use the advanced power boost to start with a bar of power, use Kate Bishop's evade counter hit to land the intercept, throw the special one for the cold snap while the ebb and flow fury is active for extra damage, and then just keep it paused and avoid giving the opponent too much power by hitting them directly. Then, once the protection comes back, just use the counter evade hit again to put it on cooldown once more, so that you get the full damage from your cold snaps, drop another special one with the fury active, and now with those 2 cold snaps the fight is over here before Destroyer can even throw a single special. That is basically as well as the fight can go, so a very nice fight there. Then we have the usual Onslaught here on the ebb and flow. Ebb and flow knockdown and right back at it mini-boss node along with aggression prowess, and once again I will be taking this fight with Shocker. This is basically the only fight I generally use Shocker for, though this war did have that Negasonic as well, as a little treat I guess, but generally this is the fight that I most get sent on. Pretty sure that's because no one else in my BG had Shocker ranked up at the time, so by necessity this was always my job. Now the game plan, same as always, just ramp up a full heavy attack with those Vibro Shock charges, drop a special to remove the protection, charge up the full heavy, and the fight is done. The Onslaught will drop unless it's a 7-star rank 4, which don't exist yet and probably will not exist for a while, so yeah, that's basically all there is to it. Now once again I did end up going for the special one here for the faster ramp up. As I have said before, it's not really needed. You can finish out your ramp up by simply waiting for the aggression prowesses to stack up a bit, but only if your Shocker is awakened, because that is part of the awakened ability. I am fortunate enough to have that ability, so that's something I could do, but I'm just not doing it because I don't really know why, but regardless, the fight went down, no issues there. As long as you're not using the Silk Synergy, the fight is fine. And then, moving on, we have a Peni Parker here on the high energy diet and Burden of Might mini-boss node, and I will be taking the fight with Venom. Now Venom is immune to power drain here against tech champions, I believe, but he still can't really gain power due to the Burden of Might node and the buff count that he has. So essentially the game plan is to just nuke the fight down with basic attacks. Once again, my buff rolls are absolutely horrible, so I go for some heavies to try to re-roll them. No luck, and well, with the physical resistance I did manage to get that into a position which is perfect. Now all I gotta do is just get the clarity up and then just go in and nuke the fight. Just a single precision is usually what Venom needs, other than that everything else is just extra, and the bleeds, they are very potent. I am running max deep wounds and I do have a 6-star rank 2 awakened Venom relic, which is also extremely helpful and essentially transforms Venom into a nuke champion. Overall, if you have that combination of a 7-star duped Venom and a 7-star duped Venom relic, I highly recommend putting them together and throwing on deep wounds. You won't regret it. Then we have a Mysterio here on the power efficiency and missing in action mini-boss node, and I'm taking the fight with Venom. Once again, I gotta play careful at the start of the fight until I get the clarity up, and now I am free to basically just nuke the fight down whenever I wish. Looking at my buffs here already, it's looking pretty good, so instead of just baiting specials here throughout the whole fight and playing it slow, my plan here is slightly different, and just looking at the damage output I have here, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not gonna bother baiting any more specials. He's melting so quick that he shouldn't be able to do anything really anymore. I do have my striker to extend my combo, and that's all I really need to close this one out. Fight time has been less than a minute, and down he goes. Mysterio on this node in general can be very annoying, due to his specials both having effects that you need to wait around for, but Venom just made it a joke of a fight as soon as he got a couple buffs going. Then we have the final fight of the war, a Quicksilver boss that I am taking with Venom. Now, as usual against these Clarity defenders, the biggest issue with a given fight is actually getting the first Clarity passive, and that is what I'm having some issues here with. This guy is just auto-blocking everything, so I gotta just try to get the Clarity up the slow way by waiting for his personal buffs to just roll over. That's about all I can really do at this point. I am able to land a few odd hits here and there, but overall it was mainly just waiting around for the buffs to tick. Now at this point, when I do have the Clarity up, the fight is very simple moving forward. Just spam Venom Special 1 to eat the resistance buffs for some regen and more buffs. Just keep landing hits to keep the Clarity up, and that's all there is to it. Quicksilver will no longer evade or auto-block anything, and any whiplashes you might get from dexing his Special 1 or Special 2, you can just parry off yourself, or even let expire, so long as you don't have too many of them. If they expire, you will take some damage, but Venom has that regeneration on the Special 1, which essentially offsets all the damage you might take from it. Now, the block chip damage from the Special 2s is a bit annoying. I am fairly comfortable dexing, or full dexing the Special 2s, but considering how simple the fight is, I'm just not taking any unnecessary risks trying to finish out the fight without getting comboed to death or a special that somehow completely nukes my health bar, so playing it a bit safer is not really a bad idea here. The fight has taken quite a bit longer than I would imagined, almost 2 minutes, but that is mostly due to the horrible luck I had at the start of the fight, but overall, still, it wasn't really a fastest finish either. As for the results, we did end up losing this war 1-4. GT40 did what they usually do, and they destroyed us.